We're going to look at Pinterest in the classroom. Pinterest is a great digital curation tool, and I think that you will find that there are many uses for it. It is kind of like taking a bookmark and instead of just making a very random bookmarks, like most of my stuff is randomly bookmarked, Pinterest allows you to organize that in such a way that is more useful to you, but also there are ways that you could use in the classroom with your students that I think you'll find handy. So before you get started, one of the things I would recommend for anyone using Pinterest is to install the Pinterest extension. You'll see up here. So what I would do is I would just go to the Chrome store and look for the Chrome extension. And all the extension does is it gives you a little bit more browser functionality. So when you use, this is something different. Look down here, the pin it button. And the pin it button is right there. So now we're going to go out and we're going to look at how we would use that. I am currently in the middle of reading an article, and you see the title here, Tagging and Digital Note Taking. And if I were wanting to save this, I would just go up here and click my pin it button, and it's going to take me and ask me, okay, which one do you want to use? Well, I want to use this one, and I want to put it in my instructional technology design board. That way I can go back to it. Now, I also want to, once it's saved, edit. No, I don't want to see that now. So if I were to go to that particular board, and I can edit my board, and instead of saying, you know, whatever they have put, I can make my own changes. And what I want to put in here is and save. So now in the future, I can remember why I saved this. So it's just a little, you know, takes out some of that randomness of bookmarking. Now that we have established how we would save our pins, we can go in and create our own board. And I want to go ahead and let's just call this World History, and maybe we do Roman Empire. You can give a description, I'm not going to worry about this kind of thing. I just think I would just go down here and say education. And then currently right now I'm not going to worry about any collaborators, but just know this is where you could add your staff, your students, so that they can also collaborate on this board with you, so that they can add pins. So for instance, if I wanted to put my daughter, I could just go in and put her email address. That would require me to remember it, and that would be the @ACS. I'm not going to bother with that right now, but that's how I would do that. I would invite. So if you had your students' emails, and that's very easy to collect from kids. So let's go down. I don't know if I even saved my board. Let's go back up. Let's create that board. And we'll just do Roman Empire. Let's create, and let's get started. Okay, so we have our board. We're going to pretend we have collaborators, and then how do we get started? We go out. We can start on Pinterest if we choose to. And Pinterest has its own set of stuff that we might find interesting. How about this one? I could add this one to my Roman Empire, and I would just scroll down to the bottom, or there, pin it. I like that. Or I could go out to the web and find my own. So, and I might like this one. This might be a great one to add. Go here and do what I did earlier in the video and pin it. Okay, so I'm going to go to my board, and I want to show you, this is where students can be helpful to one another. This is where it becomes the class project. So on the board, Let's go here. Obviously, you can keep the description that has been put there. I kind of like this description. As the Roman Empire spread its tendrils across the surrounding geographic landscape, ... I don't think most students would say that. But this is where I could edit the board and add my own description. Same, teach Roman, instead of saying teach ancient Rome, we might want them to give a description. This is how we digitally curate information so that students have the ability to work together, and almost like creating your own classroom resource page. So once these are created, the best part is you have it for the following semester or the following year, and it's in any content area. Most teachers will use it for creating resources. I have one for hair and shoes and clothing, but I also love the idea of content areas. So just so you know, Pinterest has many uses, and it can be more than just your own personal bookmarks. You can use this with your classroom.